Does anybody drink peppermint tea because they actually like it, or... Good evening and welcome back. Today I'm just going to be taking you through how I blow dry my hair. Now I know there's a lot of how-to videos out there, but I'm just going to show you my way, along with some hints and tips that you might find useful. Tip number 1, put some honey in your peppermint tea. Takes away the edge. So grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, wine, whatever you want, and let's get started. First off, I'm just going to quickly show you what shampoo and conditioner I've used. They are still wet and dripping all over my carpet. The shampoo that I've used is Mud Masky Hair Mask Scalp Treatment and Miracle Shampoo, 3-in-1 formula. Now this is a good paraben and sulfate free shampoo. I spoke about it in my previous video. I unboxed this month's Glossybox, so if you're curious, check that out. And for conditioner, I'm just using my Aussie Deep Treatment 3-Minute Miracle Reconstructor. Just smells so good. So the first thing I do when I get out of the shower is stick my hair in a turban. This is a microfiber towel which absorbs really well without damaging your hair too much. And what I like to do is leave it in a turban for as long as I can, just to soak up all that extra moisture. You want it to be pretty near dry before you actually start to blow dry it. So that is my first tip for you. Just leave it in the towel, do your makeup, do the dishwasher, do whatever you gotta do. Just leave it for a while. If you're in a hurry, just towel dry it gently or blast it with the hairdryer just to get it about 2/3 dry. My hair is naturally wavy and frizzy, so if I don't blow dry it when I get out of the shower, nobody needs to see that. So the first thing you're going to need is a good product. I've been using Bedhead Superstar Blow Dry Lotion for thick, massive hair. This is a really good blow drying lotion. Also, it does help to keep your style once you've set it. You need to be careful not to use too much of it though, because it can make your hair quite sticky. So I've just used about 4 drops for my length of hair. Evenly distribute it right from your roots to your mid-length to your ends. Now I could go into sectioning just so it's easier for you, but honestly I just use one clip and just section up my head as I go along. So the first section I take is just behind my ears and I clip that up out of the way. I've got my good old trusty Tresemme hairdryer. Now this isn't a professional hairdryer, but it's pretty decent. It's getting on a bit now, so I don't even know what model this is. Now, this brush is so old now. I don't know what make it is. Oh, it's Bamless. It's just a medium-sized roll full of hair. Now my hair is coloured, but it's not bleached right now. The only bleach I have in it are on the very, very ends. So I know that my hair can take the highest heat and the fastest speed, but if your hair is bleached or quite brittle, maybe stick to the medium heat. I'm just going to take the first section around the brush as close to the root as I can. When I'm blow drying, I'm going to roll the brush and lift it up and out. That'll create volume while you're making it smooth. I think a lot of people think that while you're rolling the brush, this is actually curling your hair, but that's actually smoothing the cuticle to create the shine that you want. So let's get started. Now I know the underneath is curled under, but I'd rather have that than it flick out. And over time it does calm down and straighten itself. As you're turning the brush, you're actually smoothing the cuticle and laying all the broken hair and the baby hairs flat, which is going to make your hair look as shiny and as healthy as it can. And the more lift at the root that you give it, the bigger and bouncier the blow dry you get. Next section is just above the ears. If I was doing this on a client, I would probably be able to take smaller sections, but I work a lot quicker on somebody else. I tend to be a bit impatient with my own hair and take bigger sections. Always keep the direction of the airflow in the direction of the hair growth as well. Point the dryer down the hair shaft. And please don't do this, unless fried is the look you're going for. A lot more difficult to pick up sections on your own hair without putting the dryer down, so I tend to just go underneath and scoop up a lot of the sections with the brush as I go along. If I notice a bit that's flicked out in the direction I don't want it, I try and just roll it around the brush and give it another blast and try turn it under. Now the back of my hair is quite difficult to do, for me anyway, because it's quite layered. It feels a lot thicker and it's a lot shorter to blow dry. So I tend to just attack it with a blow dryer and the brush until it feels like it's dry and smooth. As I go down the hair with the dryer, I'm trying to keep as even tension as possible so that I don't get any kinks or lose the hair off the brush. I've got a lot more grey than I thought I did. This lockdown has hit me hard. Also, you're not blow drying it until it's just dry. You're blow drying it until, of course, it's dry, but it's smooth. Whether you're doing a straight blow dry, bouncy blow dry, or a curly blow dry. So without burning it, you're going to go over it until it's dry and you're happy with how smooth it is. After I finished each section, I kind of just go through it with my hand just to make sure that it's dry and smooth, keeping my dryer pointed down the whole time. I'm not about to ruin all my work by giving it one of these. If your hair or if your layers are shorter than mine underneath, you can go in with a smaller round brush. That might help you a little bit more. A bigger brush is going to help you achieve a straighter look. And we're done.
I never make promises, 'cause I don't keep them. I never make promises.
Also, rolling the brush in your hand just takes practice. Funnily enough, I'm right-handed and I do the rolling better in my left hand. I don't know what that's about.
'Cause I don't keep them. 'Cause I don't keep them. 'Cause I don't keep Cause I don't keep
You've probably noticed that I do one side a lot better than I do the other. I kind of just want to point out how I've got my nozzle set as well. It is actually vertical rather than horizontal. There might be some bits that you can get to a bit easier, like I can actually do this side a lot easier if the nozzle is horizontal, but I'm lazy. I just leave it vertical and just do an all-round mediocre job. I've actually just tilted you up a bit for the last section. So this top section I blow dry forward purely because I like how it lies once it's done and I can get a bit better volume that way. So I'll just take the front section, about 1 inch thick. Now if I want the front of my hair to lie flat, I'll put the brush underneath and blow dry it down. But because I want it to sort of lie to the side, I actually put the brush behind the hair and blow dry it back. If you're struggling with your sections, just make them smaller. There's no point making this a harder job for yourself than it already is. So just a little tip for knowing when your section is just about done. Your brush will glide through a lot easier when your section is dry and smoothed out. When you're done and happy with it, just stick your dryer onto cold and blast the out of it. I'm getting my fingers right into the roots and lifting up and out when I'm doing this, just to seal in that root lift that we've just blow dried in. So the last thing to keep your blow dry lasting as long as possible is product again. Now I've tried Hask before, I've tried their hair masks, and I do think they make a difference. So I'm going to try their Repairing Shine hair oil, and I'm honestly just going to take the tiniest of drops, because the last thing you want when you've washed and dried your hair is for it to be looking as greasy as it was when we first started. Well, it smells divine. And the tip to using hair oil is just to use a light dusting of it on your ends and start working your way up towards your mid-lengths. So whilst you've got the most product on your hands, work it through the ends. This is where your hair is the driest and where we'll soak up the most product. If you tend to suffer from an oily scalp, I would keep this sort of product away from your scalp. Then just use the remaining product that you've got on your hands just to smooth down those flyaway hairs. If I was straightening it or curling it, I'd put another heat protection product on it. Lately I've just been trying to care for it a little bit more. As you can see, I'm trying to grow out my natural colour. So yeah, that's it. Let me know in the comments if you find that useful, if you want me to do another tutorial going into a little bit more in-depth techniques on blow drying and just general hairstyling that I've picked up in my studies. Along with some Ew. Still not. Oh my god, it's dripping everywhere. Now this is a good paraben and salt. So always point the, I was going to say gun then. See ya. Ugh, no.